So that's range. I'm not going to talk about product design and packaging. It's outside our scope, apart from if you're going to buy goods, you'll want it to be retail packaged, and you want it to be decently retail packaged. Why?
Quality. It gives an impression of quality.
And as a consequence, price. Yeah? Two cables for the sake of argument. One in a bag, one in retail packaged. Could actually cost you relatively little difference. But the perceived value to the customer could be an awful lot larger. Awful lot larger. We're not talking pence, we're talking several pounds. Packaging matters for really, really good reasons. Yeah? I was talking to a customer about attending various trade shows, and just when we were setting up this year's Arrow show here, what do you really like doing? What do you really like doing? It's all about touching and feeling products. All right, tell me more about that. Well, it's all about how much I think I can sell them for. The entrepreneur at work, yeah? So, product packaging design. Pricing, I'm not going to talk about, but we are going to talk about display of goods. And that doesn't mean computer displays. It means two things in particular. There are two ways of looking at, or two levels of looking at your retail merchandising. One is the layout of your shop. Does anyone have a planogram of their shop? Has anyone got their layout of their shop mapped? Does anyone ever look at what they put where and why they put it where they put it? And ever think what might be the impact of moving stuff around? No. Right? This is not the preserve of the big guys. Yes, the big guys do it. Yes, that's a fairly large shop. And yes, I know many of you have very small premises. But that functional space still works for you. Okay, and I can tell you about a customer, and I will tell you about a customer very shortly, that's got a retail area probably about a third of the size of this room, who has dramatically changed the performance of his retail space just by thinking more like a retailer. I'm also going to talk about merchandising presentation. Okay, so those are the two things we're going to cover off, and there's a number to go through. It's a bit of a gallop, but here we go. When people first come into your shop, the entrance really matters. Yeah, it is the area where you're going to get highest footfall for obvious reasons, but it is also the most concentrated footfall, which means you have a fantastic opportunity to control what they see. Yeah, so the entrance really matters. So this is all about citing your best propositions and positioning them for visibility. And lo and behold, this is a customer in the locality. What do you see as you walk in the door? Oh, there's all these Brother printers here. What's that? What's that all about? Yeah, this is a guy that wants to be known. His speciality is printing in inks. So he wants to be known about printing in inks. There's also this here too, and we'll come on to that in a moment. But he's really thought about his entrance. It's not crowded. It's not empty by any means, but it's certainly not crowded. I can see a clear way into a store that looks abundant in products that I might be interested in. And as I say, in particular, I'm getting the immediate impression this business is about printing and inks. Right, when customers walk into shops, they're coming from the dark to the light, possibly, or the light to the dark, or noisy to quiet. They are decompressing. And when they decompress, they walk in, they open the door. Right, where am I? And then perhaps it happened here. But there's all that space, okay? All that space where they haven't seen anything. So citing stuff you want to sell there isn't going to work from the point of view of them entering the shop. Where it might work is when they're on the way out. So you just need to think about how you're going to use that space. And possibly that might be the place to put your end-of-line stuff, the stock that's just not moving, that you're trying to get rid of, that's really cheap. And as they're walking out the door, they think, oh, that's right, what's all that about then? Another rubbish. Well, that's good value, I'll have one of them. Or maybe not. Maybe not. But let customers decompress. They need space. They need time to adapt. It is a well-known feature of shoppers. Okay, now that, yeah, it's a rather elegant Apple store in the south of France, but it demonstrates the principle very elegantly. Yes, it's huge. Yeah, many people's shops probably aren't that long. right? I am not expecting you to have decompression spaces that big. We're merely trying to illustrate the point. They have the benefit, and they are using space to appeal. That's what they're doing. They're to increase the elegance of their store. Okay, but they are abiding by that principle of decompression. That's what they're doing. Okay, use the invariable right or left. And I'll come on to why it's the invariable right or left in a moment. A guy called Paco Underhill. Actually, must be running out. Paco Underhill, who runs a very famous, well-known, reputable retailing consultancy in New York, wrote a very good book called Why We Buy, which is worth a read. I've read it. Coined the term, and he did it because he'd done loads of research over the years. He'd been watching retailers and watching people in shops for years, and he noticed some things that were going on. One is that typically when people walk into shops, they tend to go in one particular direction. This is in the Western Hemisphere, fair enough, and it's also probably in large stores where there aren't doors to kind of project people. But nevertheless, he saw that people tend to go in one direction. Even the right-hand aisles of supermarkets get increased flow. The point here is to remember it's not necessarily the right-hand side of your shop if you think about it. Because if your door opens this way, I'm going to tend to come in like so. Yeah? Yes, I am going to the right. If your door opens that way, I'm going to tend to go to the left, which is why I talk about the invariable right and the invariable left. People will be projected in a particular way into your shop. Think about it. You can use it to your advantage, because as they decompress, they have a heightened awareness. And that's where you want to place, that's where you want to place your best offers. Oops, go forwards, it does help. Get into the habit of watching where people go. Yeah? Can be difficult, especially if you're behind the scenes working on something and the first thing you know is when the door's already open and someone's walking in. But if you do have somebody in the shop, look at where they first walk to. Look at where they're going. See what you can do to put something in front of them. Use your sweet spot. As well as the people tending to move to either the right or the left, depending on your door, the front third of the shop is also an area that gets huge attention. Why? Let's go back to the old decompression. I'm walking through the door. The moment I switch in, I'm alert. Yeah? What I see, that's the first thing I see. The first thing I see is going to have the biggest impression on me. So what you put in the front third of your shop, typically on the right-hand side, it could be the left, depending on your door, really matters. Our dear friend in the locality, up here in Wakefield, is, what's he got? Sale. Great big load of custom bills. Got a 751, a £1,300 one, a £1,000 custom bill computers. Whether they're on sale or not, I don't really know. They probably aren't. Yeah? But he's not, he's just selling. He's being a retailer. Yeah? But that's positioned right next to this high visibility Brother printer stand. He's got his sales stand. So he thought, and he is a retailer. He's got a retailing background, this guy. So using a sweet spot, yeah, the front third of your shop gets the most attention. It's where people tune in. They were outside, I'm now inside. And what do I see first of all is what immediately grabs my attention. So think about the invariable right or left, depending on how your shop works, and use that. That's a special place. So give it consideration. Think about what you want to put there. Choose what you want people to buy and put it there. The range for browsing. Yeah, I know some people have got extremely small shops and the luxury of all this space. No, I don't have it. Even if your shop is that big, if you've got nothing between your door and the counter, what will customers do? They will walk from the door to the counter and they will not look at anything in between. Yeah? It doesn't take much to have a small table in the middle of the room with something on it. And when they walk in, they see it. Yeah? You have presented them with an offer. They may not want it, but they've seen it. You will arouse more interest in that item than you would do otherwise. So, there is an old adage in retailing that the more people see, the more they buy. It's very true. So that's what you've got to do. If you've got the space to try and get people to circulate and move around your shop, you should use it. As I say, even if you've got a tiny space, you can still put a table in there. You can still encourage people to look at things. I did mention the customer in the introduction. In Leeds, they're quite a large space, probably about this space between his door and his counter. Everything in his shop was all around the sides. Yeah? What did everyone do? Boom, you could see it on the carpet, straight from the door to the counter. I had a good long chat with him. Quite a strong worded chat with him about what he was doing and why he should do it. He got some display units, he's put them in the middle of the shop. His shop is performing better for him because people can see stuff. And they also don't feel so threatened. Yeah? There I am. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God, it's me and you. There's nothing in between. I've got to talk to you, haven't I? There's nothing I can go and look at. So it's less threatening. Your shop is more inviting as well. Browsing is about arousing interest. Yeah? It goes back to that whole principle of visual merchandising. You're enticing people to look at stuff. Yeah? The more they look at, the more they'll be interested, the more they'll buy. So where you can, always try and create a flow, even if it's the technical term, is a racetrack. That's where you just plonk something in the middle of your space. That's all you've got. If you've got a tiny space, you can still put a small table there. You've got a circulation. 3 things to do. Interrupt the door-to-counter line. It's a killer. It's an absolute killer. Create aisles and don't have dead ends. People, if they see a dead end, will avoid it. They don't want to be caught out. And that's to do with personal space, which we'll talk a little bit about more in a moment. Navigational signs. So this is a customer I've worked with down in Grantham. Navigational signs is this stuff at the top. Yeah? Oh, only the big guys do. Well, yeah, they do. But they do it for good reason, because it's good retailing practice. Yeah, like it or not, you could learn an awful lot about retailing and retail merchandising by just going into a PC World for Currys or John Lewis. Look at how they're laying their stuff out. Look at how they label it. Yeah? They're doing stuff because it's good practice. Navigational signage enables people to find stuff for themselves. But I could tell them. If they want a cable, I'll tell them it's over there. Well, yeah, but do they really want to ask? And when you tell them it's over there, wouldn't it help you if you could say, yeah, see, the cable's over there. See at the top there where it says power cleaning products, either side, cables. Yeah, over there. It actually helps you direct them even better in the first place. Other uses. Got a customer over in Cleethorpes who has a separate counter for his retail and a separate counter for his repairs. Customer comes in with a broken laptop, walks up to the retail counter, can easily say, oh, see the sign over there for repairs? We're checking where repairs over there. Or the customer can just walk in and see, oh, the repair centre's over here. It just makes life easier. It makes you look more professional. Clearance corner. Again, just because I've got a basket full of stuff beside the door doesn't necessarily mean it's good value. If I have a sign that says clearance corner, that tells the customer that's something we regularly do. That might be another reason for them to come in. Or this month's special offer. Whatever it might be. Adjacencies. This is taken from our dear friends. They do a lot of good things when it comes to, well, they do a lot of good things when it comes to retail merchandising. Where they fall down is their stores really aren't very well loved. And that's because I don't think the staff really care much about working for them, but that's another thing altogether. What you've got here, okay, they're selling Kindles. Fair enough. But with the Kindle, there's a whole load of stuff that might be relevant to buying a Kindle. Yeah? So we've got an upgrade package here for a 3G, I think it is. We've got a special Amazon Wi-Fi offer. And underneath we've got cases. This is what adjacencies is all about. Yeah, when you walk into the drinks section of the supermarket, why is there Nurofen in there? For obvious reasons. That's a great example of an adjacency sale. Yeah? Oh yeah, I'm having a party. Might need some of them. Yeah?
I've never seen that.
Have you not?
No.
Really?
No, I think I don't go this way.
No, you never had it. Don't get hangovers. Drink so much they don't hit you. So lay out items intuitively from the customer's perspective. Don't think about categories. Yeah, those are all my monitors, so they'll all go there. Those are all my desktops, so they'll all go there. Those are all my CDs, so they'll all go there. Think about how customers are going to be using things. A question, do blank CDs and DVDs better go with storage devices like drives? Would that be the best way to store them? Or would they be best with things like jewel cases, quality papers and possibly inks? Why might you do that? You know, yeah? People like copying things onto DVDs, don't they, and marking them up. Yeah, it's a big market for music and films. I know a business in Huddersfield on the side of a very large housing estate that can't get enough of the stuff. Thinking this way increases the practicality of your shop. Yeah, it's easy to use. I walk in and all the stuff that's relevant is in one place. I don't have to hunt around and find it. I really like going there. It provides a much better retailing experience, because that's what you want to be known for. Yeah, you've got a shop, make it good. Yeah, make it work for people. Make it worth visiting. Give products space. So I've decided I want to stock all these. I think they're mobile phone covers in this. How am I going to display them? It's not about I've got space, how can I fill it? Yeah, which is the question I mentioned earlier. John, tell me what products to buy. I just what's cheap that I can put on the shelves. It's more a case of, no, I've got great products, how should I show them? And many of your great products are the services that you offer. So that helps answer the question I should say. But yeah, how can I show them off? We've got a lovely, that's a pretty good display. It's abundant, it's full, there's lots of choice. Looks like it's a good place to go. Don't hide high demand items behind low demand items. If they're good high demand items, they need to be on their own so people can see them. Don't crowd displays or pack products into corners. That is a full display, there's no doubt, but I wouldn't say that it's overfull. As I said, it's this difference between abundance and clutter, which can be a fine line, right enough. And too little is equally as bad. Give people space. That's actually a bookshop in India, in Delhi, but it illustrates the point. Everyone has a sense of personal space. Paco Underhill talks about the butt brush, as he calls it, being an American, which apparently is a real no-no. When you're shopping and you bump bums with somebody else, that's really not the dumb thing. Narrow aisles can mean customers violate each other's space. They butt brush. Yeah, perhaps okay for regulars, people who have got used to it, people who see that as, yeah, well, that's part of the experience of going there, I quite like it. But for somebody new, who's never been in before, somebody new who's never, I didn't quite mean it like that, but somebody new who's never been in before, they might decide, well, no, I really prefer not. Yeah? So it could be a barrier for new customers. How wide? There is no set. That's building regs about corridor widths, which wouldn't apply. Which wouldn't apply for things that can be moved around. That's where we're going to build physical walls. But that's the suggestion, 1.2 metres. Feature displays, our dear friends at PC World again. A feature display draws people over. So there I am, Huddersfield's got a big university. The students are going to be in looking at computer stuff, and there's a whacking great sign that says university student bonus with the word free. It's a feature display. Yeah? And it's a feature display of a desktop with a monitor and a keyboard and a mouse, as you'd expect. And also they're cross-selling here a walkout working service. Quite what that is, I'm not sure. Perhaps they stick it all together and make sure it works. I really don't know. But it is a feature display. It will attract attention. Could it be made prettier? Could it be made nicer? You bet. I think this does it no good whatsoever. The only reason I can come up with why they might want to do that is because it gives you the impression you could walk away with it now. Whereas PC bloody world anyway, you say I want one of those, someone will go and get it for you. Well thought out displays will attract and sell, and we're going to come back to this again, but monitors. A blind monitor is a waste of space. That doesn't mean it has to be powered up. but it's there. It's just a blank, empty space. It could be used for selling something. In actual fact, in this example, you could put the walkout working service on there and make the display look less cluttered and more elegant, more attractive. There's another phrase in retailing called the eye line is the buy line. Where do people tend to look, and therefore what do they tend to look at? This is obviously in a supermarket, and this is showing you that people tend to look around about this kind of height when they're looking at things. That's where they tend to look most. Supermarkets use this kind of stuff all the time, and you can use it in varying ways, complete opposite ends of the spectrum. It's the high demand stuff, we want to sell loads of it, that's where we'll put it, because everyone will walk down the coffee aisle will want Nescafe. Yeah? Or, in actual fact, we're doing a promotion, we want to establish a new brand, so to get it into people's consciousness, where they once saw Nescafe, we're going to put something else. We do have a habit of moving things around, which really annoys me, but anyway, there we are. People prefer to look up as well. They prefer not to look up, I should say, which is an interesting one. So looking up above head height is generally unnatural and something that people would prefer not to do. So this whole kind of pile it high and sell it cheap, don't take it literally. Don't take it literally. If you've got high walls in your shop, yeah, the stuff you put up here is going to receive a lot less attention than the stuff that's down here. Up there, keep for navigational signage. Don't try and fill it up with boxes of stuff. And minimise any dead space. Dispersion is another big retailing term, which is all about getting people into your shop, deep into your shop, and spreading them out. It's a measurement of browsing. Just watch where they go and where they don't. This won't be much of a problem if your shop is small, but if there's any size to it at all, make sure there are corners where people do not go. That's wasted space. You're paying for that space. So think, where are they not going? Well, I want every single square foot of my space to be working for me. I want all of the 4 corners or the 10 corners or whatever it is you've got in your retail layout to be working. What can I put in those corners that will get people moving around and looking at them? Cite higher demand items in dead spaces. Because again, what you're doing too, you're playing to this whole principle of, where are the inks? Well, they're just over here. I have to walk past that and that and that and that, and it's all about, the more merchandise that people see, the more they buy. Abundant, not chocker. Yeah, this is about the clutter argument. You want to be seen. You want to be seen to be a successful business. So this doesn't mean thousands of monitors, but equally it doesn't mean one. Yeah. The issue here is about having an uncluttered, neat, chosen layout. Right? As a retailer, you are endorsing products. The ones that you choose to put on display have been put into your shop because you thought they were good. Yeah? Not because it fills up some space that I've got. When people come and visit you, the stuff you've got in there, they think, well, you're the expert, you know the computer. The stuff that you have must be stuff that you've selected, because all of the thousands of models that are available, you've chosen to go for that one. Why? Tell me about it. Yeah. Purposely use all your space. If you've got stock that isn't shifting, or you've forgotten about, you really need to think about moving it, because it is just dead space in your shop. Your retail premises are not working for you. Yeah? Turn that into your bargain corner, or whatever you want to call it, or the stuff you put by the door that you're trying to shift. You know, it'd be better to sell it at cost than to have it just sitting on the wall going nowhere. And it's pointless as well. Customers are looking at stuff, it saps their attention. They want to be interested. And it distracts and frustrates and ultimately puts them off buying. If they can't easily and quickly see good stuff that they'll be interested in or want to buy, it will turn them off. Consider comfort is another one. If you have any kind of services where people might have to spend time standing, do the right thing. Offer them a seat. Yeah? So if you've got while you wait services, for example, have a chair. Yeah? If you do some kind of fault diagnosis, so when you receive a job, you actually say, okay, tell me about the problem, power up the computer, maybe spend 15 minutes talking to someone about it. have a couple of chairs to do it over. If you've got anything like interactive displays or presentations that are circling around that you might want to encourage people to look at, a chair signals for somebody, actually it might be worth you sitting down and watching this. Or if you're doing product demos or even the dreaded customer talk, about how to do things, again, provide chairs, because standing is tiring. And you might have to even clean the toilet, which is shocking, I know. But yeah, even access to the loo. A while you wait service might take an hour. Or if you nip out, you go and have a cup of coffee, you come back and the computer will, the computer will be fixed for you by then. No thanks, I prefer to stay. We'll try and find a chair for you. You don't want to be in that position. And merchandise at the till. If the door has got the maximum amount of footfall coming in through it, the second area that has the highest amount of footfall is the till. The difference is those people came in and didn't buy. Yeah? So think about merchandising at the till. It's got huge footfall, but there are some things about the till that are completely different from the door. The things about the till are that the customer has to wait and be served by you. Yeah, you've gone through all of the advising process. You are now in charge of the interaction. They are in buying mode. Yep, right, I'm coming up. I'm going to buy this computer case, this keyboard, this laptop, whatever it is. I'm going to buy. My wallet's out. I'm in spend. They're suggestible. That gives you a chance to upsell. Not pressure sell, just upsell. Yeah? Now, they've already made their big purchase decision, so you can't nudge them by saying, well, you just bought a £300 laptop, you can buy another. Yeah? But you might be able to say to them, well, that £300 laptop, have you thought about, have you got pen memory to go with it? Or this presentation clicker, you do realise it doesn't come with batteries. Batteries here? Yeah. In fact, we're actually doing a special offer at the moment, 3 packs for 2. Those sorts of things. Deal on packs of media. Make the customer feel special. This is not cheesy. This is the basis of being a retailer. And if you have a shop, you've got to be a retailer. Make the customer feel special. Thank you for visiting. Courteousness matters so very much. Is there anything else I can help you with? My batteries, got my drives, got my CDs, whatever it is that's on display. And the worst is they can say no thanks. It's always going to happen. Yeah. It's not like they don't expect you to try. The issue is how you go about doing it. Yeah? People will respect you for trying. You are a retailer, you are a shop. Mentioning extra stuff that is relevant is fine. It's all part of merchandising. The non-sales floor. The bits that people don't see. That is not a customer, but I have been to customers that are worse. And I have, genuinely. It's terrible. Yeah, of course you do. You focus on the bits that the customer's going to see because you want to make a great impression. The issue is, no one sees that. But if it's messy, let's take a look at some of the consequences. Your stock room's untidy. Do you know how much stock you've actually got? Might you think you've got 2 more of these when you've actually got none, and you find you've stocked out. You've got a stock out, I should say. And the person who comes in saying, yeah, I want to buy one of these, oh, I can get it for you tomorrow, says, oh, no, it's okay, I'll just go to. Yeah? An untidy office means you lose papers, you lose bills, you lose invoices, you lose little bits of paper and notes that you made about customers, because, well, who knows where they went. They were never seen again. I didn't put it in the bin, but it just evaporated. Yeah? I've done that with a pair of glasses only in the last week. Goods received. Yeah? The workshop's a mess. You unpack the box. Where did the batteries go? Who knows? Yeah? Or even that you might lose part of the customer's job.